Key performance indicators, or KPIs, are metrics that measure if your product is creating the desired value for the users, the customers, and the business. Having the right KPIs in place is important. Without them, you end up guessing how your product is doing. It's like driving a car with your vision blurred. You can't quite see if you're heading in the right direction or getting closer to your destination. Using indicators provides you with the necessary empirical evidence, the right data to make effective decisions and achieve product success. In this video, I'll share my tips on how to select those KPIs that really matter for your product. I'm product management expert Roman Pichler, and I discuss key performance indicators in my book Strategize. My first tip is to ensure that you use the right KPIs. A common mistake I see product people make is to rely on metrics that the analytics tool suggests, or common measurements for their type of product, like activation, daily active users, and churn. But there is no standard set of indicators that is always applicable. To select the right KPIs, you'll have to consider the specific value your product should offer. And to do this, I recommend clearly describing the user, customer, and business goals you want to achieve, as well as the specific outcomes your product should create. If you have a product strategy in place, then it should provide you with the user, customer, and business goals. And if you use an outcome-based, goal-oriented product roadmap, it should state the product outcomes. If that's not the case, then use my product vision board and Go product roadmap to create the two plans. I explain in detail how you can do this in the videos that are linked in the description. But as useful as user, customer, business, and product goals are, they are not quite enough. Why? Well, they typically provide you with financial and customer indicators. Think of monthly recurring revenue and customer satisfaction. But imagine a situation where your product seems to be doing great. The customers love it and revenue is skyrocketing. If, however, the code quality is deteriorating and the development members are overworked and demotivated, then the future is unlikely to be bright. The poor code quality will make it harder to add new features, and the low team morale might cause people to leave. You should therefore add what I call health indicators to your set of KPIs. These are metrics that measure how healthy your product and team are. Examples are code complexity, number of open bugs, and team motivation. My second tip is to stay clear of vanity and appeasement metrics. The former are measures that make your product look good, but don't add much value. Take the number of downloads as an example. While a fair amount of people might download a product, this tells you little about how successful it really is. Instead of measuring downloads, you should choose a more relevant and helpful metric such as daily active usage or referral rate. Appeasement metrics are indicators which you use only to please a powerful individual like your boss or a senior stakeholder. Now, both types of metrics bloat your set of KPIs and cause you to collect and analyze more data than is truly helpful. That's not only a waste of your time, but it can also cause you to act on irrelevant data and make wrong decisions. My tip number 3 is to use both quantitative and qualitative indicators. As the name suggests, quantitative indicators such as daily active users or monthly recurring revenue measure the quantity of something. This allows you to collect hard data that can be comparatively easy compared and analyzed. Qualitative indicators such as user feedback can be more difficult to apply, but they help you understand why something has happened. For instance, why users aren't as satisfied with the product as you expected. Combining the two types gives you a balanced understanding of how your product is doing. It reduces the risk of losing sight of the most important success factor, the people behind the numbers, the individuals who use the product. My fourth tip is to employ leading indicators in addition to lagging ones. Lagging indicators are, for example, revenue, profit, and cost. These metrics are very common, but they are backwards focused. They tell you about the outcome of past actions. Based on them, you can make an informed guess about the future. Take revenue, for instance. If it has steadily increased over the past few months, then it's likely to do so in the future. Leading indicators, however, allow you to better predict if your product will create the desired value. Take product quality as an example. If the code becomes increasingly complex, adding new features will become more expensive and require more time. Meeting profit targets and release dates will therefore be harder, unless you take action now and remove some of the technical debt. Finally, don't think of your KPIs as definitive or set in stone. The opposite is true. Whenever user, business, or product goals change, the indicators are likely to change too. New ones may have to be added and existing ones may have to be removed. For example, if the current product goal is to acquire more users, then market share would be a useful indicator. But if your focus switches to revenue generation, you may want to add monthly recurring revenue to your set of KPIs and remove market share, at least for the time being. Additionally, some indicators are only applicable at certain lifecycle stages. Say your product has achieved product market fit. You may then want to start measuring profitability and introduce net profit as a new indicator, assuming that the product directly generates revenue. You should therefore regularly review and adjust your indicators, at least once every 3 months, as a rule of thumb. I hope that you found this video helpful. You can learn more about key performance indicators by attending my training courses and by reading my book, Strategize. The links are in the description. Thank you for watching. Let me do this again. Active, do again. There's a lawn mower. Do again. Do this again. My first tip is to do again. Try again.